What is the secret behind Article 13's sex tax? As stated in the Zabercoin white paper, the management team demonstrates confidence to invest in emerging markets where earnings growth remains profitable. South Africa is an example of a country where significant tax benefits on residential property can be fully utilized. The South African Revenue Service, SARS, permits a significant tax benefit on residential property under Section 13, Sex of the Income Tax Act No. 58 of 1962. This incentive allows the purchasers of residential units to write off a percentage of the cost of buildings, or improvements thereof, acquired or built after 21 October 2008. The following criteria applies. The taxpayer must own at least 5 residential units. A residential unit refers to a building or self-contained apartment mainly used for residential accommodation with the exclusion of structures used for business purposes, for example, hotels. All units must be situated in South Africa. Residential units must be new and unused. For example, buyers of apartments that had previously been occupied would not qualify for this incentive. The units must be used solely for trade, i.e., residential letting. This prevents housing claims for personal use. Residential allowance. A 5% deduction is allowed under the Act for normal residential units. An even greater depreciation of 10% is permitted in the case of low-cost accommodation. The Act defines low-cost accommodation as a standalone unit to the value of up to R$300,000 or an apartment to the value of up to R$350,000. Furthermore, the owner may not charge a monthly rental rate more than 1% of the aforementioned amounts. Note that the additional 5% claim is a bonus for low-cost units and only applies if the normal 5% deduction is allowed. The allowance is claimable until the full cost of the unit is written off. Cost on which the allowance is based. The total cost, used for the calculation, is the lesser of the actual cost incurred or the market value on the date at which the transaction was concluded. This limitation is in place to prevent taxpayers buying or building a unit at inflated prices from connected parties to obtain a greater tax deduction. Furthermore, there will be no deduction permitted if the taxpayer has previously claimed a deduction under another section of the Act. Lastly, remember to buy your Zabercoin at www.zabercoin.co.za to benefit from this huge tax advantage.